Hey guys, it's Kevin. I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while and I wanted to put it on a video. Do you think in words or in pictures? If you're like most people, you probably have never thought about this because you just think the way you think and you don't realize other people may not think the same way that you do. This was a huge problem for me for the longest time, and it still is actually, in making people understand what I wanted to communicate to them on any particular issue because they really did not think in words, but rather in pictures. And I believe many people today are visual thinkers, and there's nothing wrong with that because so much of what we consume is visual and it's effortless and passive. Reading is becoming more and more less popular of a media for many people who are wanting to learn anything. So advertisers and media companies realize this because they often use these images that have no connection to the things they're selling. Pictures and images evoke feelings and make people respond favorably to them and buy based on what these pictures make them feel. The facts don't matter. I'm more of an abstract conceptual type of thinker where clearly defined words are the primary tool I rely on to understand anything. So I prefer to read a lot of in-depth articles, and I use a lot of facts and clearly defined words from various sources in my mind to build an opinion on whatever subject I'm tackling at the time. So, for instance, I'm going to give you a practical example why thinking in merely pictures that are running through your mind like a story or a movie may have you at a disadvantage to thinking critically and grasping some deeper concepts anywhere, really. But I'm going to use the Bible and Jesus in particular as an example. So when you read the Bible, and I hope you do, Jesus spoke in parables. So people would visualize whatever story or parable he was telling. Now he did this for the specific purpose of not revealing spiritual truth to the masses. So the crowds are following him and he's telling them stories. And the purpose of those stories is to hide the truth or to veil the spiritual deep meaning of what the truth of God is. So for anyone who doesn't agree with that, and they can actually go and read the words in Matthew 13 themselves, but I'm going to quote them here. And I want you to pay close attention to the actual words because they are the keys to understand the meaning, which I'm going to show you from the Apostle Paul's writings. Excuse me, let me grab it. Okay, Matthew 13. And the disciples came up and said to him, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" And Jesus answered them, "To you has been granted to know the mysteries," key word, mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. "But to them has not been granted. For whoever has, to him more shall be given, and he will have an abundance. But whoever does not have, even what he has shall be taken from him. Therefore I speak to them in parables, because while seeing they do not see, and while hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand." These people were not deaf and blind. They could see, they could hear, but there's a deeper spiritual thing going on. And in their case, the prophecy of Isaiah is being fulfilled, which says, "You shall keep on listening, but you shall not understand. And you shall keep on looking, but shall not perceive. For the heart of this people has become dull. With their ears they scarcely hear, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their heart, and return, and I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your eyes because they hear, and your ears because they hear. For truly I say to you that many prophets and righteous people long to see what you see and did not see it, and hear what you hear and did not hear it." Now we can go way into this, but let's just recap. Why did Jesus do this? He veiled the meaning of the parables so that people would not be healed. So you have to go to Paul's writings to really get understanding, and the understanding is found in the words themselves. So you have to get rid of the pictures in your mind, and you have to focus on how words are defined. So 1 Corinthians 2 says, "Yet we do speak wisdom among those who who are mature. So Paul is differentiating between people who are mature believers and people who are children. You know, you tell children picture stories like Noah and the ark, where Noah gets on a boat and they can visualize that. You know, he's building a boat, he's leading the animals in. Those are parables. Okay? Let's go look at the deeper meaning of the words themselves. A wisdom, however, not of this age, nor of the rulers of this age who are passing away. But we speak God's wisdom in a mystery, the hidden wisdom which God predestined before the ages to our glory. The wisdom which none of the rulers of this age has understood, for if they had understood it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. Let me tackle that one for a minute. They, who crucified the Lord of glory? Well, the Romans put him on the cross. The Pharisees turned him into the authorities, but who really crucified him? Who is really responsible? Because if you look at the story that happened, Pontius Pilate was standing and he was asking, what do you want me to do with this Jesus? And the whole crowd, the crowd that Jesus was usually speaking to, the masses, they were the one who was screaming, crucify him. So they didn't understand. And that was God's plan anyway. So just as it is written, things which eye has not seen and ear has not heard, and which not have entered into the human heart, all that God has prepared for those who love him. For to us, God revealed them through the Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, even the depths of God. For who among people knows the thoughts of a person except the spirit of the person that is in him? So also the thoughts of God no one knows except the Spirit of God. Now we have not received the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, so that we may know the things freely given to us by God. We also speak these things not in words taught by human wisdom, but in those taught by the Spirit, combining or comparing spiritual words with other spiritual words. If you're only thinking in a movie-like narrative from the stories you read in the Bible, then you miss out on the deeper, significant meaning of what the spiritual words within the text are meant to convey. This is not only true of the Bible, but it works in all areas of your life and business as well. And you can train your mind to think in words if you don't already, and it will benefit you immensely in almost every aspect of your life if you apply yourself to reading and discipline your thinking to avoid marketing tricks and gimmicks. Well, that's all for today. That was a little bit longer than I thought it'd be, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.